So, now this is a very interesting question that we have been waiting for. Impact investing is a raging buzzword these days. And Gurjot, you have worked in this space. You have gotten into this space at the level of a graduate, being a graduate, whereas a lot of people, a maximum number of people who get into this space are people who have graduated from, MBA programs or master's programs. So, what is this space all about, and how can one prepare at the bachelor's or the undergraduate level to get into impact investing at all?
Right. So, how I prepared for this, I didn't really have the correct, timelines to prepare for it when I reached out to it. So I went through a stringent process of different kind of case studies that they had me do at 4 stages. I read up about the industry, and post acceptance is when my actual learning curve started. So I took up courses online. So Coursera has great number of courses from University of Pennsylvania and a lot of other great colleges, right? So you that's one great way to approach it and get the correct set of knowledge and understanding about a certain field. Staying at home, right? Because time has always been a constraint for everyone. And speaking about what this industry is about, basically, impact investing is investing for a cause, right? So it's all across ESG. So ESG stands for environmental, social governance. So for companies incorporating ESG practices into their operations, so that's where the funds are pushed forward. So the funding that happens, so being in private equity, impact investing in private equity basically means that you are funding a company which has an intent to improve their ESG practices. So that would be, reducing. Everyone's speaking about climate change right now, right? So reducing their carbon footprint on the environmental side, on the social side, involving more women in the, women upliftment, having women on their boards, having women employees. So everything around that. So what we're basically looking at is companies and entrepreneurs having an inclination and intent towards build their ESG practices in their organizations. So funding basis that, and obviously a commercial benefit that we're looking out for, right? So if they are able to sustain these practices that they're going, and it's not only about social. So it's not, people think that impact investing is the same as running an NGO, right? That you're giving out money to people, but this is not that. It's literally a subsection of private equity where you lend out to businesses that are commercially viable, but also accepting and showing intent towards fighting a cause, you could say, yeah, or building their ESG strategies in place.
Right. And what is the kind of career path that any undergraduate or maybe an MBA graduate after some years can look at in the impact investing space, especially in a place like India?
So again, there's a lot of scope for impact investing in India, right? Although it's at a very, very nascent stage in India, with how the government also in the current budget showing an inclination towards green, this thing, towards hydrogen, towards clean fuel, towards climate, and all that, right? So there's a strong inclination towards this and a very strong growth trajectory. So at an undergraduate level, I started off as analyst, as an intern, right? So again, people at this age come in and work in sales roles, but I didn't want to do that. I joined a startup and I was working in a pure sales role, but again, I could not develop an interest, even though it was much more well paying. But I decided to quit, and so you have to be ready to not be well paid in the start, right? So it's all about building the skill set, because at that stage you need the company. I need Avishkar today more than they need me, right? So just to understand and learn early about the field and the industry, and then obviously there's a strong growth path, right? Because private equity is one of the most lucrative industries, even in finance.